Rank 2.0 has been out for almost 3 years and people still don't understand how it works. So I decided to just help my chat once and for all understand and look up their accounts and explain to them why they are facing certain ranks, because people still don't understand the difference between hidden MMR and visible MMR. Everyone always claims that they go against ranks that they should not be going against. They're always like, I'm only going against champs or diamonds or whatever. So I'm going to look up maybe a few people from chat. We have Unknown Alpha, whose username is ms_alpha38. You're saying on Xbox you're going against them. So, just from a very quick glance, you're complaining about going against champs, but you are an Emerald player. Emerald is only really one rank off of champ. Champ is just glorified diamond. So, when you're already reaching Emerald 3, you're kind of basically in diamond, which is basically champ, so that's not crazy to believe. This is, I think, another classic case of not understanding rank 2.0, which is half your fault, half not. Ubisoft has done a piss poor job of explaining rank 2.0. They always say like, oh, or they never say anything, and people are always like, oh, I'm in bronze, why am I facing high ranks? Because your visible rank doesn't matter, and I say this every season when I make a video on it. This rank here does not mean anything. I am currently in gold 3, but if you look at my match history in ranked, everyone in the lobby is a champ. Even in this lobby that we were just in, diamond, 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 emerald, diamond, or emerald, plat, emerald, but everyone's a champ or diamond. Your visible rank does not matter. So this probably is not as bad as you're making it out to be, but we can look. You have a diamond on your team. They have a diamond on their team. 2 emeralds, you have an emerald, and I'm assuming this is probably everyone is, like, these 2 people obviously are diamond and emerald. These people are barely losing anything, so they're probably also diamond emerald. Yeah, emerald player, champ player, like, that seems pretty fair to me. I don't see any problems here. It's just, sure, your visible rank might be low, but it doesn't mean anything. It's another lobby, 2 diamonds versus diamond, and I assume Mr. Raccoon is probably also an emerald or diamond. Yep, he was an emerald 2 seasons ago. I don't think there's anything wrong here. Quick question, console rank doesn't affect first-time PC ranked matchmaking, right? No. So when you go over to PC from console, you will start fresh, which is gold 5/silver 1, and then you work your way from there. Yeah, from what I can tell with this person, nothing wrong here. You are facing the lobbies you should be facing. This is just a confusion of not understanding how ranked 2.0 works. Does anyone else claim they have the issue where they are facing only diamonds and champs when they should not be? Would you mind giving a rundown of how hidden MMR should get? Okay, so here's the basics. Again, your visible rank does not matter. I am gold 3. That doesn't matter. It is just a battle pass. I am working through the ranks. With hidden MMR, since this doesn't matter, I matchmake off of my hidden MMR, which, as far as we're able to tell, Ubisoft bases your hidden MMR off of your highest rank you've ever achieved. Now, for myself, if I look at my match history or my season history, the highest rank I ever achieved was champion. So, that is why whenever I play ranked, but here you see champ, diamond, diamond. Actually, wait, that's unranked. No, that is ranked. Oh. Oh, is that because of Kit? Yeah, we were with Kit. This one was a weird lobby. But anyways, so champ, champ, diamond, champ, champ, diamond, diamond. Champ, 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 champ. So everyone's champ. Your hidden MMR is based off of your highest rank. And then it can fluctuate, but we don't really understand how that works because Ubisoft refuses to explain that. From my understanding, if I'm in champ, but I don't want to be champ and I wanted to change my hidden MMR, I would have to lose like 90% of my games to finally go down to diamond. Not ideal. No one's going to naturally do that, so it just kind of sucks. No, matchmaking with the squad does not go off the highest ranked player in the squad. That's what it should be. I've been saying that for a long time, that they should matchmake off the highest rank, but they choose not to. They don't like doing that for whatever reason. It would be perfectly fine, but Ubisoft does not want to do that. So me going up 60 to 100 MMR while being in silver means I'm not silver. Yes. So with hidden MMR, when I scroll back far enough, you can see at the beginning of the season, every match I was winning, I was earning 122, 122, -8 on a loss. I get to bronze, that goes down to 121. I'm still only losing -8. now in bronze 2, 120, 120. I go to silver. It's still high. It's like at the 120s, but it's slowly trickling down. And as I go through silver, it goes down to like 116. And then now I'm in gold. It's now going down to about 110 on average. And as I go through gold more, it now goes down to 105 in platinum. And then when I get to the top of platinum, I'm only gaining 92. And then now that I'm in emerald, it starts to drop really quickly. Because again, the system's trying to get me to my hidden MMR rank as quick as possible. So now that I'm in emerald, that's only 2 ranks off of my hidden MMR, it goes from gaining 90 to 88, 76, 65, 55, and it just keeps dropping off as quick as it can. So whenever you get close to your hidden rank, you'll start to only earn like 20 elo per match. And you can see that I was in diamond and I was still gaining 32. I'm sure if I played another match in diamond, it probably would have been like plus 25 and then gone down to plus 20 over time. And then once you finally reach the rank that you should be or right below it, your hidden MMR or your gain and your losses are about the same. So you'll gain 20, lose 20, gain 20, lose 20 type of thing. So that's how you can kind of tell what your rank is. As long as you're still gaining 100 plus, you're not even close to your hidden MMR. It's my first season hitting gold. Is it normal to see emeralds in your lobby? I'm pretty new to ranked. I just thought it was weird. Smoky Fox, tell me what your Ubisoft name is, and I'll explain it. I'm peak gold 5, and I'm versing high plats. Papa Bugs, you can also tell me your username, and I'll explain it. Papa Bugs with a dot. You did peak in gold 5, but that was only last season and this season. That was 112 matches, though, so it's very likely that is your hidden MMR is gold 5. Actually, no, your hidden MMR should be higher, so you're still gaining 39 per match and losing 20. So you should be more in like gold 2, gold 3, that would be my guess. But in your lobbies, you're not really facing any plats. You have 1 plat on the enemy team. Most of your lobbies seem good otherwise. Like you're facing gold 3s who are losing 23 elo, which means that they are hard stuck gold 3. I don't think your matchmaking is that broken or anything. You are facing gold lobbies. You'll sometimes get, okay, so in this one we have 1 platinum, which is Geneva, and then 1 emerald. I can't really show you Geneva because my face cam is blocking it, but you have these 2 people, but then they kind of cancel each other out. So you have an emerald 5 and someone who's an emerald 3/diamond. Very likely they're probably queuing with someone in this group. So Small Cloud, aka Geneva, could be queuing with Swervin, Milky Minister, Aloe Work. Let's take a look. Swervin. So he plays with Swervin, who... Let me just make sure no one else he's playing with. Nope. So he plays with Swervin, who has a slightly lower MMR, which means that the lobby is being skewed a bit more. So this is like a gold/plat lobby. And he's just playing with a friend who brings down the elo a little bit, because he's a diamond. And then... So overall, yours looks fine. I see no problem with it. The whole hidden MMR thing explains why I get like plus 20 to like plus 10 in a match. Yeah, so the plus 10 is where it starts to get really annoying. I don't have it as a history or recent example for myself because I don't play ranked much. But once you start only gaining like 20, if you go past your hidden MMR, usually what they'll start doing is make you gain even less. So normally you gain 20, lose 20, and you're even. You go past, suddenly you're only gaining 10, and you could be losing 20. So the system's trying to pull you back. And in a perfect world, sure, that's a good system because then it forces you to be a lot better so that you can rank up. But all it instead does is mean that you have to somehow maintain a like 75% win rate to rank up, which is just not feasible. Even if you are getting better, to like have to maintain 75%, not possible for most people. So it is a very shitty system. There's only one time I saw an emerald. It's not all the time. I'm just confused how I even saw an emerald in my lobby. Weird. Account's not pulling up for some reason, but if it was only one time, it's very likely someone just played with their friend and they brought an emerald into the lobby. Because, for example, let's pull up Border. Okay. Actually, I'll pull it up in here again so you can see the max ranks. So, if we go to my recent matches and pull up Border, you can see that this whole lobby is a little odd. We have Kit in here who's peak platinum 1, and most people in this lobby probably would be like, why is there a platinum in our lobby? Like, we're so used to diamonds and champs. And also for us, we're like, why is there a gold on the enemy team? Probably because they're queued with a friend. So it can go both ways. You can either bring a high rank player lower into your lobby, or sometimes you can bring a low rank player higher into like your lobbies. It goes both ways. It all just depends on matchmaking and who they end up pairing you against. Hopefully people understand, because what is the most annoying to me is that as far as I am aware, they do not explain this at all. Let's look through. Actually, okay, so they say it here. They actually explain rank and skill. This took them 2.5 years to add this. I've been telling them to add this for a while. So it took them 2.5 years to add an extra screen that says what your rank is and what your skill is. This, I think, terrible, because instead of putting it like you click more info and it says it right away, you have to go to how it works, and then you have to find the right tab, and then you look at it. That's not how it should work. And here, I assume, yeah, matchmaking uses skill, not rank, to create teams. This is too hidden. It literally needs to be like you go to hover over rank, and just a big box says, you know, there's skill and then there's rank. But they don't do that. They refuse to actually like tell people. They keep hiding it. And I've been telling them for a while, you need to put it like right in front of people's faces, going like, this is how it works, and they don't want to do it. I don't know. Pisses me off. How do I pronounce your name? Kakayar. What is your username and what platform? I sincerely doubt that as a peak bronze you are facing emeralds. Or there's more to it. Alright, Kayer. You're peak bronze, but you've only played 14 matches. You haven't actually established a true rank. Because that's like dipping your toes in the water and then being like, yeah, I went for a swim. Then yeah, you're still gaining 115 elo. So you are not actually a bronze player. This is, again, the difference between rank and skill. So your rank says bronze, but your skill is much higher. I assume based off some stats. So you have a lifetime 1.3 KD. The hidden MMR, I don't know exactly, again, how it works, but they have explained that they use, like, they look at your stats as you're playing and ranking up, or not ranking up, but like playing more and leveling up, and then they try to determine what hidden MMR you should be assigned. And the base point is silver 1 and gold 5, but it fluctuates. I see you've also played on console. As far as I'm aware, that does not affect it. I see that you reached emerald on console, but I played on console after reaching like champ on PC, and I was in gold lobbies. So I don't think playing from one system to another affects it. I think it's just much more likely that you just have a high KD and high stats, and they're like, you're probably better than a gold. That would be my guess. But you need to play more to see what your actual rank is. I don't know how you have no rank after 4 matches played this season. Oh, but it says you have no matches played. Yeah, so you need to play more. You can't just play 10 matches and be like, wow, I should not be facing these people. Because, yeah, based off you still gaining 115, you're probably going to be put into emerald or plat. And clearly you have the game knowledge. Like, you shouldn't be complaining about facing emeralds, because if you played on console and you got to emerald, you know a lot about Siege. You know a lot about the game. It shouldn't be that different. You're just not going to have the aim. That's about it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
The next day.
Now, before people get all up in arms about me saying that there's nothing wrong with those matches, I know people are going to probably say that Ubisoft paid me to say that. I do think there is some stuff wrong with matchmaking. I do think there's a decent amount of matches that will have completely unfair matchmaking, and that's not okay. But I just think a lot of people who complain about it don't know how the system works. They don't understand hidden MMR, or they skew whatever thing they're trying to show to push a certain narrative, which happens all the time. Like, I get tagged daily in Twitter posts about, look at this unfair matchmaking, look at this unfair matchmaking. And a lot of times when you look into it, it's really not that bad. It's just like these matches that I showed you guys already, where it's just hidden MMR. People are like, why is there a copper on my team? Well, that's because that person hasn't played any ranked. They don't have their normal rank yet. Or in some more fringe cases, we have people who show me screenshots from years ago and try to push it as if it just happened. I normally never look at my Twitter notifications, but the other day I just happened to see a screenshot in there, and it was someone complaining about their matchmaking. This is the screenshot that they submitted, and I went through. Guys, this screenshot is from like 2 years ago. I was trying to find the match so that I could show you guys that the matchmaking is not that unfair, but the screenshot is from 2 years ago. And here's how I know that. I looked up the Purple Pickle guy who is a champ. He hasn't been a champ since Twin Shells. And even before that, it was like New Blood, Deadly Omen, Deep Freeze. So this is from year 8 or year 9. But that screenshot is trying to push the narrative that matchmaking is still bad. Matchmaking was way worse then because they didn't have the Phantom player. They didn't skew matchmaking results to be more heavily weighted towards like the champ players. So there was bad matchmaking back then, but they have patched it since then. So to try to pass off screenshots from 2 years ago as if it's still happening now is just bad faith. And what sucks is that when people make up fake arguments like the previous one, it takes away from real ones like this. This was from the subreddit over the last month. It was one of the top posts where someone complained about their matchmaking. Their whole team is bronze and copper versus champs. Now, we don't know what their hidden MMR is because they didn't include it. Some of the comments said that they looked at the profile and said that it was fucky, but I don't know how they got their usernames. I could try to find it, I just couldn't. But what this shows is a different problem. Even if these guys are all champs, what we have here is a problem where we have a 5 stack of people who care a lot about ranked and are grinding it every single day versus people who might still be good, but they don't care enough to play every single day. So this is where we need some type of update to the matchmaking. I still think the best fix overall is that they should just make it where your visible rank is what you're actually queuing as, and you just go through the ranks. You go from copper all the way to champ. Sure, that'll suck for some coppers who have to face champs in the low ranks, but they'll get out of there very quickly when they win 1 or 2 games and they're already in bronze. But the other option is that on top of hidden MMR, they should also matchmake off of visible MMR. So even if these are all champ players at the top, since they are in bronze and copper, they should only play against other champs who are still in bronze or copper. The issue with this is I don't think the player base is active enough to do this because this would split the community even more. And before I break it down, I just want to reiterate, all of these people I'm talking about in this Photoshop example are champs. They just have different visible ranks. So this is if they were all champs, but they matchmake off visible rank as well as hidden rank. So here's what I mean by that. Let's just say with the new system, if it matchmakes off of hidden MMR and visible rank, let's just say we have like 13 champs. So 13 champs, and then we also have 7 champs who are still in copper. That means that they are technically the same skill level, both sides, but this side does not play as much, this side plays all the time. In the current system, since they are all the exact same rank, they'll still match up. There's 20 people here, this will be 2 lobbies, we're good to go. But now let's say we change it to the new system I mentioned where it matchmakes off of hidden MMR and visible MMR, this would now become 1 lobby. Because we'd have these 10 champs all get into 1 lobby, but then we'd have 3 leftover champs, and then 7 coppers who are not going to get in a lobby together. So this is just 1 lobby, and then these champs are going to wait for 3 more coppers to play with them. So they're only 7/10 of a lobby. And these 3 champs are going to probably be even more screwed and have no one to play with, but they still are only 3/10 of a lobby. Which is why I don't think that's a great solution, because that means that we're just going to have longer matchmaking. Instead of finding 2 matches here, we now are going to probably wait an extra like 10 minutes just to get the other people on that we need. And this becomes even more complicated when you start including golds and stuff. Because now let's say if we include, instead of 7 coppers, it's now 4 coppers and 3 golds. Now this becomes an even more divided lobby. So now we have 1 lobby of champs, and then 3/10 of a lobby of champs, 3/10 of a lobby of golds. Because gold and copper is somewhat separated. That's 2 whole ranks in between them, bronze and silver. Then this becomes 4/10, and then we just have even smaller and smaller groups. So I don't think this is a viable option. And this is why I have preached for a while that I think we should just go back to visible MMR. I know Ubisoft will never admit that because, unfortunately for us, Ubisoft is correct. This new hidden MMR system is actually better for the game. It is better for the people and better for the company. We don't like it because it makes it confusing. People just don't understand how it works, and let's be honest, Ubisoft has done a terrible job of communicating that. But for Ubisoft, it makes sense. Before, people would on average only play 10 games. Because you'd play your 10 placement games and then get assigned the rank that you wanted. Because what would happen is that before rank 2.0, someone would get into plat, and then the next season, they would do their 10 placements, we'll just do 10p for that, and they would probably get plat again. And then they would just stop playing because they got what they were last season, and they didn't want to lose it, so they would just completely stop, and then they'd go play unranked, they'd go play quick match. or they'd stop playing Siege altogether, and that lowered the population of the game. But now, let's say you're in Plat. In order to get back to Plat, you'd have to play around like 30 matches. So 30 games just to reach the same rank that you were before. That's just my mental math. I'm sure it could be more or less. It obviously depends on losses. But going from 10 matches to 30 matches is obviously really good for Ubisoft because then people are playing more and probably spending more. So Ubisoft loves the hidden MMR system for this, and I don't think they're ever going to get rid of it. I just wish people understood it. And to Ubisoft's credit, they do explain it. It's now in the game, but they added it to the game like 2 years after they added hidden MMR. How is anyone supposed to know where it is or what it is? Because they're not looking for it. It's been 2 years. They're still just confused by the system. So it mainly is still Ubisoft's fault that this is a very confusing system. And I'd prefer for them to change it, but we just know they never will. But in the end, I don't want to defend Ubisoft too much with this, but I will just say that generally, if you see something like this, there is a reason for it. Sometimes people just aren't showing what rank they actually are. They haven't played much, and that's okay. To people's credit, sometimes there is a champ in a copper lobby because the champ queues with 4 copper players, and Ubisoft has tried to tackle that with Phantom Player, but it doesn't always work. And that's why, instead of Phantom Player, my suggestion, and I've suggested this for a long time, has been that they should just queue off the highest rank. Every other game does this. So if you have a champ queuing with 4 coppers, it should just only put you in champ lobbies. Yes, that would suck if you want to play with your IRL friends who aren't that good at the game, but who cares? You're ruining competitive integrity over just inviting friends to ranked. You can play unranked with them. If they don't know the game that well, just play unranked. The only people who would complain about a system like this are the ones who want to abuse it. They want to queue with copper so that they get easy lobbies while they're in champ. So don't let it be abusable. Just queue only champ lobbies. It's not that hard. But that's all I have to say on the topic. I hope you guys learned how hidden MMR works throughout this video if you didn't know already. Or hopefully I gave you guys at least some insight into how stuff works and things that should change. But I doubt anything will change anytime soon. Ubisoft didn't announce any changes for ranked in year 10, so it'll probably come in year 11 or year 12 if we even make it to that point, because Siege is not in a good state right now. But maybe because it's in such a bad state, it'll force them to push it out sooner. Who knows? But if any of this has been confusing at all, ask in the comments below. I'm sure either myself or someone else will help answer it, because I know this is a complicated topic and people just still don't understand. But thank you guys for watching. Take care.